have anything to drink?
You know it is forbidden for me.
What bloody god would care if someone has a drink?
The kind who cares about people's health.
It's peculiar, even so. I just don't understand anything anymore. The world has changed, friend. War has changed.
War? War never changes.
Bollocks. You used to need skills to train with weapons. In short, to be a real soldier. But nowadays, you can be the best warrior far and wide, but some yokel shoots a crossbow at you, and you're done for. Fucking progress.
I would not expect such an opinion from an artillery commander.
That's another matter. You need training and humility for that.
I need a place to sleep here overnight.
Sakura, you're right. You know what? Go down from here to the infirmary. To the right of it, there's a gate that leads to the shooting range. But don't go that far, because just beyond the gate on the left, you'll see an angled tent with a Prague banner by the entrance. That one's free, so you can make yourself at home there.
There's a couple of...
That's good. You've got a lot to learn, lad.
I heard you were recently in a battle at some fortress. Nebukov, was it?
You heard right. But you won't hear any tales of glorious adventure about it, I'm afraid. A band of footpads was holed up there, so we kicked them out on their arses. No wall can withstand a cannon like our finger of God, you know? It's not like how we used to conquer fortresses in my younger days.
Could I see the cannon?
You will when the time's right, don't worry. Once we've sorted out the mess here and reached Sedlitz, I'll show you. Christ knows, you might even get a chance to fire it soon.
For a glorious army, we seem to spend a lot of time sitting on our arses. When are we gonna fight?
Soldiering is mostly sitting around on your arse. Listen to someone with experience and be glad nobody's trying to brain you with a halberd yet. But if you're bored, you could empty out all the latrines in the camp. What do you say?
Actually, I've got a lot to do. I didn't mean to complain.
That's more like it.
I've come about that charter you're looking for.
Have you got it?
Yes.
By Christ, Henry. All them men couldn't find it, and you just come strolling in. And the soldiers who were taking it to Sedlitz, did you find them as well?
Aye. But they weren't planning to go to Sedlitz. They deserted, and were hiding out in the sawmill near Lahota.
Horsons? Where are they now? What did you do with them?
I took care of them. They got what they deserved.
Well, well, he might look like a stripling, but he's anything but. Nice work. That's your mission accomplished, then. You're one of us from now on, Henry. Here, take our Waffenrock and wear it with pride. And you know what? I think you should get paid right now. And a bit extra, even if I have to go without.
So we can move out from the camp at last?
First things first. You know the first thing every real soldier does when he gets paid? He gets shit drunk! Musa, did you hear that? Henry here found us that stupid document.
And he dealt with the traitors. Perhaps even too well for my taste.
Let them rot in hell, the Horsens.
And what now? Will you head out for Sedlitz?
The sooner the better. Don't tell me you'll miss me.
It is just that you have not finished telling me the story of George and the dragon.
Really? All right, but telling a story like that needs a proper drink first. You too, Henry. Drink.
As you command, sir. To the Praggers.
Long live the Praggers. At last, I don't have to drink alone. Moose is not much of a drinking companion, see?
Alcohol and gambling may have their uses, but they are also sinful, and much more sinful than beneficial. I mean, look at yourself. A man should have 4 humors in his body, but you have replaced them all with alcohol.
You're no saint yourself. I've heard from the bathhouse wenches how you can't take your eyes off them.
Every creature is beautiful and noble, for Allah created them thus. I'm just admiring his work.
You've got a way with words, I'll give you that. All the more reason I don't understand why you don't drink and play dice.
I simply do not want to.
But I fucking do. So come on, Henry. You'll play with me at least.
Nah, why not? Let's have a game.
That's the spirit. You're a man after my own heart.
Careful, friend. Winning money of the captain is never a good idea.
I hope Lady Luck will be on my side. My God.
Shit! How could I have lost?
Glory to the victors, honor to the defeated. You'll get me back next time, sir.
You bet I will. I'll pluck you like a chicken. And now for a drink. And so St. George hops on his white steed, and he rides to the lake, where he sees a huge mountain with a cave at the bottom. Stench of sulfur, it's wafting from it. And so he shouts at the top of his lungs into the cave and says, "Come out, dragon! I challenge you to a fight!" And so, all of a sudden, the mountain moves, and massive dragon looks down at George and says, "Sir Knight, I accept your challenge, but why the fuck are you shouting up my arse?" I love that, sir. Up his arse.
Sir, you have to come with me quickly. The surgeon too.
Can't you see we're in the middle of serious debate?
No, please, come quickly, before it's too late.
What's going on?
This is Chatan. He leads the Cumans.
He has been stabbed. Tudo bem. Kitchen outdoors.
Who did it?
We will not get anything out of him in this state. We must get him to the infirmary before he bleeds to death.
Well, someone, please explain to me what the fuck is going on here.
They said they just found him like this.
These two, they were on guard in the tower, and out of the blue they heard a scream.
When his men find out about this, we'll be lucky to not end up in the same position as him.
We've got to move him quickly. He's in plain sight here.
Quick, before it's too late.
I'll help you with him.
You two, go to the gate. Don't let anyone in. You got it? What are your orders, Lord of Burblaka?
What do you think? Catch the bastard who did it!
Well, that never would have occurred to me. We're lucky to have you here.
Don't make me mad. If your men had done their sentry duty properly, we could have spared ourselves this fuck-up.
I'll deal with Aldebert and Radovan, don't you worry. But now we have to do something.
All right. You search this place, and I'll go to see Chertan in the infirmary.
Right now? What good can you do there? Be better if you help me here.
Do what I said, and don't concern yourself with me. I'll go where I want, when I want.
Fine. Go to hell for all I care. So, Henry, Chertan's at death's door. Musa is up to his elbows in his guts. Grozov won't do a fucking thing. And I'm pissed out of my head. I'd like to hear any suggestions.
Well, the most important thing is to keep this hushed up. Things will really go to shit if anyone finds out.
It's true. Doesn't take much to get that Kuman rabble's blood up. I don't want to end up in a goulash. We're gonna have to sort this out. Being a commander here is a right pain in the arse. Soldiering was different in my day. Nobody would have dared stab an officer right in the camp. Kurva! You know what, soldier? I'm gonna go and take care of something in my tent for a while. And you take a torch and search this place.
What am I supposed to be looking for?
I don't know. Anything. Have a look around. Check Chertan's tent. It's the one next to the stables. Maybe you'll find some clues. Maybe you'll find the murderer himself if he's a total idiot.
And lo and behold, where might this trail of blood lead to? And the lock looks scratched. Maybe someone tried to get inside without a key. Was someone trying to steal something? Or perhaps I'm not the only one who's looking to make mischief here. Catherine was right. I'll never get such a massive cannon out of here. I have to get Katz to move it out of the camp somehow. Oh, there's powder all over the place. One spark and the whole store will be blown sky high. Are the soldiers really so lax? Or could there be more to it than that? Right. I've searched the whole place.
Did you find anything?
I noticed that the powder store is unlocked. That can't be deliberate, can it?
No, it fucking can't. Unless Chertan wanted to spice up his porridge in the middle of the night, it looks like there's a thief about again.
Again?
It's already happened once or twice that someone went to steal powder. That's why we had it moved up here. Maybe Chertan disturbed the thief on the job and he started waving a dagger around.
But why would anyone steal black powder?
How about because it's fucking expensive? You'd be surprised who'd happily take it off your hands. In Corinthia, I met this bloke who used black powder to blow up cliffs. You make a hole, pour in the powder, cover it up again, and set fire to it. He did pretty well for himself, but in the end, a flying rock tore his head off. But this isn't the time or place for that. Let's go to the infirmary instead and take a look at Chertan. Maybe Musa's already finished with him.
Where the fuck have you been all this time? While you lot have been playing with cocks up there, Chertan croaked.
What? Musa couldn't save him?
That fucking sawbone of yours finished him off, more like. He took one of his pagan potions and poured it down his throat.
Why would Musa do something like that? You think he'd sit with us all evening like everything was fine, and then decide out of the blue to kill someone?
Can someone explain what the fuck happened here?
Chertan's dead. Not from his wounds. He was poisoned. Sir Grozav is right about that. But he could not be more wrong about the rest.
How dare you foreign dog!
Calm down, sir. Go on, Musa.
When Chertan was brought here, he was bleeding heavily, and his wounds needed stitching. But he survived. Then I gave him some wine to prepare him for treatment. That is the usual procedure. But what was not usual was that he started vomiting blood. And then he died.
I'd bet it was the wine that killed him. There's lots of poisons you could add to it, and nobody would notice. Well, until it's too late, of course.
You are probably right, my friend.
How come you even have wine here? You keep saying you're not allowed to drink.
As I said, I give it to wounded men to ease their pain and for certain complaints. At the right dose, it can be very beneficial. It is not all that common in my country, but I follow the teachings of the great scholar Ibn Sina. You Christians know him as Avicenna. I tried other alcohol as well, but drinking mead makes my patients worse. And if I give them beer, they almost always shit themselves.
That's enough! Keep an eye on this fiend till I bring the guards.
Wait, sir. As Henry here said, Musa was with us all evening. I have no idea what happened here, but Chertan was stabbed first. Musa couldn't have done that.
So, he's in league with someone else.
With one of the half-wits here, I doubt that.
Are you sure you're not trying to cover for him?
I beg your pardon.
Don't try that on me. I know very well you and that foreigner are best pals.
I will happily take an oath. I may not be a nobleman like you, but that doesn't mean I don't have my honor.
There's no way Musa is to blame. Even if he wanted to kill Chertan, he must have known that suspicion would fall on him first.
The lad's right.
Might I say a word about this matter?
You can be glad you're not in irons.
Please, sir, give me some time, and I will bring to you the real murderer. We won't leave this place until we clear this up. You have my word.
So I'm supposed to let a murderer go and put up with you in my camp meanwhile. Are you yanking my pizzle?
But, sir...
Silence! Musa will remain under guard in his tent. He will not speak to anyone until the royal justiciar arrives from Sedlets. He'll deal with him. And my advice to you two is to sit on your asses and twiddle your thumbs. If word gets out that Chertan's been done in, things will get pretty hot around here for all of us.
Where do you think you're going, Henry? Stay here and talk. What do you say to all this?
Why did you stand up for Musa like that?
I don't even know. Maybe it's because he actually listens to all my stories and bad jokes. You must have got to know him a bit by now, too, huh? It must be clear to you he didn't kill Chertan.
Well, the most important thing is to help Musa somehow, I reckon. We can't let them hang him without proof.
I'm glad we see eye to eye on this.
Well, what are we going to do then?
That's what I'd like to know. We have to find the real murderer as quickly as possible. But what do I know about that? I'm not the royal justiciar.
What is this royal justiciar?
He's a crown official who makes sure the law is enforced in this land. His people catch and try all sorts of counterfeiters, rebels, aye, murderers too. Sigismund may not have appointed one yet, but I've heard he's put Stieber of Stiebersitz in charge of this kind of thing. And if that's true, and Gorzov brings him here, we're all in the shit.
Who is this Stibor of Stiebersitz?
A real big cheese, lad. He owns half of Upper Hungary. And you don't get that kind of wealth by being kind-hearted. Trust me.
You really don't have any idea what to do next?
How could I? We should probably talk to Musa. Find out exactly what happened.
But Grozov has him under guard.
And there's no way I can get to him. Everyone knows my face. But you could do it.
Me?
Who else, soldier? I need help. Someone I can trust. And you spent the whole evening with me, so you're not a suspect. You have to get rid of the guard somehow, and get to Musa.
All right. How much time do we have? To find the murderer, I mean.
I'm not sure. Grozov will most likely write a report to Sigismund, and delivering it to Sedlitz won't take long. Then he has to decide what to do next, which means sending the royal justiciar here. And how long can that take? I'd say we have 2 days or so.
All right. I'll try to distract the guard somehow.
Good idea. Grozov's men are all blockheads. It'll be easy as pie. And Henry, Be careful. I'm depending on you.
Bastard. We're stuck here because of him. I hope Musa will know what to do.
Stop, you bastard! Nobody's allowed in here.
But I'm Musa's assistant, and I need his advice. We've got lots of sick men.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but nobody's allowed to see Musa.
Oh, what are you doing here?
That's what I'd like to know. They just came and said I should guard the physician and not let him out of my sight. Even if he wants to piss, I have to go with him. You wouldn't happen to know what's going on, would you?
I heard someone was threatening Musa. They're afraid someone might come and cut his throat. So they thought it best to have him under guard. But you didn't hear it from me. Got that?
Mother of God! Why do I have to be the one to guard him? Am I supposed to get my throat cut for him?
Look, why don't you go for a walk or something? Who knows what's happening with Musa? You don't want to get mixed up in anything dangerous.
And leave him unguarded? Do you know what Grozov would do if he found out? Huh. I'll take my chances here, thanks. You again, once more.
But Katz himself sent me. I'm supposed to give a message to Musa.
Then you'll have to shout out the message.
Wouldn't you rather go and have an ale? You won't miss anything here.
I can't say. Are you kidding? Stop that! Hey? I heard something.
Henry? What are you doing here? Grozov said...
Now, to hell with Grozov. Katz believes you didn't do it. We have to clear your name somehow.
I truly appreciate that. But I am not sure that is possible. Tinge sireye, mene mene sireye.
What?
It is a proverb from my country. It means the road to truth has many twists and turns.
Well, we'll straighten them all out. Don't worry. But I'm gonna need your help. What happened when you brought Chertan to the infirmary?
I already told you everything. We laid him on the table. Crow went his own way and I started cleaning Chertan's wounds. Then I gave him some wine to drink. And he suddenly began to shake and vomit blood soon after. He was dead.
And what happened next?
Then the noble lord of Borum Laka arrived and started to go mad.
Did Chertan say anything before he died?
He tried to, but my Hungarian is not as good as I thought. He was coughing so much that I could not understand anything.
What about that wine? Could I take a look at it?
Lord Grozov poured it away in anger before you arrived, so that I could not poison anyone else, he said.
He poured it away? When it could have helped us? The wine was evidence.
Evidence that here in Bohemia you will drink, even vinegar. It smelled and looked the same, as always. Except perhaps it was a little more cloudy.
Where was the wine from, actually?
A bathhouse maid brought it to me along with my clean laundry. A very pretty girl. Black hair, nicely built. Catherine, I think she's called.
Catherine? Are you sure?
Absolutely. But I doubt that she was mixed up in this. Chertan was not the first person I gave the wine to today. The wine must have been poisoned here, in my infirmary.
All right. But what now? How will we find the murderer?
I have done some thinking about that. After all, what else can I do here? The best thing would be to investigate the poison. Every poison has different effects. One makes your hair fall out. Another turns your guts inside out. If we discover what poison was used on Chertan, we just have to find it, and the mystery is solved.
How can we identify the poison, then?
That is not hard. I examine the dead body, I find the symptoms of the poison, and I compare them with known effects of poisons. That is, I would, if I could get out of here.
And could I help you somehow? I may not be as learned as you, but I do know how much herb Paris to put in a potion to make someone fall asleep but not die.
Excellent, my friend. Maybe we can manage this together. The first thing to do is to go to Chetan's corpse and examine it thoroughly. Arms, legs, face. You must remember everything that looks strange to you. In the infirmary, you'll find a chest. Take from it my almanac of poisons and compare what you saw with the symptoms described there. You can read, I hope.
Aye, pretty well.
Excellent. The chest is locked, but I trust you will manage somehow.
You have a whole book just about poisons. Where did you get it?
I bought it on my way here, in Moravia. I have not yet had time to study it properly, but please, do not mention it to anyone. It would not look good for someone in my situation to have such a book. You surely understand.
Right. Examine Chertan's body and read the book. I can manage that. Who do you think killed Chertan?
I have no idea. But what I do know is that we will not get anywhere if we suspect everyone in the camp. Who do you think is the prime suspect at this moment?
I heard Sir Grozov couldn't stand Chertan.
I have heard the same. And did you notice how quickly he accused me?
Well, what do you think?
I think it must be someone from here. A stranger would have been noticed. What is more, most people are not allowed up to the powder store, and I would bet that it was one of us who was there at the time. And because it cannot be you, me, or Katz, that leaves Grozov, Stephen, and the two guards. Someone should question them all. Maybe their statements will give something away.
Well, I don't have much time, but I'll try to talk to them.
I am very grateful, my friend.
Was it you who found Chertan?
Aye. Me and my comrade there.
I need to ask you a couple of questions.
I don't know nothing. We didn't do nothing.
You really didn't see anything? You're standing there on the tower, and you don't hear a man getting murdered? That's a bit odd, isn't it?
Are you deaf? I told you we didn't notice nothing.
No, I believe you. But that only tells me you weren't taking your guard duty as seriously as you claim you were.
Well, it's possible.
What's possible?
It's possible we dozed off for a while.
Oh, Christ. I knew it. You two were asleep up there.
No. We might have just shut one eye for a moment, but we wasn't sleeping. We'd have noticed if anything happened there. But before Chetan started yelling, it was all peace and quiet.
What did you do when you found Chertan?
It all happened so fast. Before we could come to our senses and decide what to do, Crow turned up.
Crow?
Aye. He heard the racket and came to see what was going on. And I'll tell you, when he saw Chertan, he went as pale as a ghost. If it wasn't for him, Chertan would have bled to death there.
How did you find Chertan, actually?
We heard yelling, so we went to take a look. I don't miss nothing, see? And there was Chertan, crawling in pool of the blood and babbling something. But I don't understand their gibberish, do I?
Before the murder, did you see anyone hanging around by the powder store? Doing something with the lock, maybe? Or already inside, even?
Nobody went up there the whole night. I'm telling you, we was watching like hawks.
There were 2 of you on guard duty, yeah? What's the other soldier like?
Him? He's a good pal of mine. The best in the whole camp. Always happy to listen to what I have to say, and that's plenty, believe me. The things I've seen since we left Prague. I'd never have dreamt of some of the things I've seen in this world.
Right, I've learned something about poison. Now I should examine Chertan's body. Alright, here we go. Holy Mary, Mother of God, don't let me miss anything, and forgive me for what I'm doing to this unfortunate wretch. He looks a bit ruddy, but is that from the poison? Or was he just drunk? I can't see anything strange here. No bruises or broken lips. I suppose the murderer surprised him and didn't give him a chance to defend himself. Ah, what a stench! He coughed up some blood, all right, but he also threw his guts up. Some poisons are so strong that the body tries to expel them. That's a nasty wound. I almost feel sorry for Chertan. But why would someone kill him in the most heavily guarded part of the camp, instead of trying to lure him outside? Several stab wounds in the belly, all close together, and very deep. The murderer definitely knew what he was doing. Though that hardly narrows down the field in an army camp. Almost everything is covered in blood. But there doesn't seem to have been much of a fight. I can't see anything ripped or sliced off. There's nothing missing. Whoever killed him, it doesn't look like a robbery. He looks horribly rigid and contorted. He must have died in awful spasms. Nothing strange here except the stiffness and broken nails. Could he have dug his nails into the table when the spasms started? And what's this here? Something that looks like warts. But did the poison cause them? Or was he a filthy pig and always had them? Completely rigid. Just like the arms. But, Christ, what a stink! He shot himself. I've heard it happens to the dead, but that much? Maybe the poison did that. That'll have to do. I've found out enough. He threw up on himself, he had spasms, he shot himself, warts or lesions on his hands, as red as a poppy. But that could be from drinking, or lots of things. I mustn't forget anything. That's the main thing.
I must be mad.
I read that book of yours, and I think I know now what Chertown was poisoned with.
What do you mean, you think? Do you know or not?
The potion is called Kiss of Death. It causes vomiting, cramps, boils, and rapid death.
This name means nothing to me. I suppose I did not get that far in the book, but if you think the symptoms are the same, I will believe you. Are you sure it was that poison? Were there not more in the book?
Absolutely certain. The murderer couldn't have used anything else.
All right. I have no choice but to believe you. Now, we can only hope that the murderer has not had time to get rid of the evidence.
I better start searching fast, hadn't I? You said that the suspects are Grozav, Crow, and the 2 guards. This won't take long.
Wait a moment. There is something I must tell you.
Of course. Go on.
First, you should know that I am grateful for what you are doing. Were it not for your investigation, I probably would not be standing here. But I cannot stop thinking about how brilliantly you dealt with Mishek. Why would someone with your abilities want to enlist? I do not suspect you of Chertan's murder, of course. Do not worry. It is all strange, though. People have just been sitting around for months here. And all of a sudden you turn up, and everything is turned upside down.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Tell me the truth, my friend. Who are you? Really?
All right. I'll try to trust you. Maybe I'm not King Sigismund's most ardent supporter.
I knew it! I could tell straight away that you were cleverer than others in this camp.
You're pleased? Aren't you a courtier of his?
It was not my first choice. Or do you think I long to spend half my life in some dirty tent?
How did you come to be in Sigismund's court?
That is a long story. I once served Sultan Bayezid. Although the Osmans are not that welcoming to my people, the Sultan at the time received envoys from all over the world, so I was useful. But soon after, we found ourselves at war with Timur and his Golden Horde. Luckily, that is, luckily for me, it was around then that Sigismund's messenger came to see the Sultan. And I managed to persuade the Sultan to send me to Hungary as a goodwill gesture. I am sure you understand that I did not want to wait for Timur's savages to cut my head off. But let us just say that King Sigismund did not show me the respect my position is worthy of. Instead of making me his counselor and physician, he sent me here.
Well, you could go elsewhere if you don't like it here. I know a few people who would value someone like you.
I am grateful to you, my friend. But I must refuse. I have had many experiences in life and come out of them alive. And do you know why? Because I am a total coward. And not just that, I am duly proud of it. I would be very happy to get away from here and perhaps even return home, but only when I am sure I will survive the journey. So I think it will be best if we each go our own way.
You know nothing, I know nothing.
And this conversation never took place.
I better go and search the tents.
Good luck. I am depending on you.
The water smells of flowers of some kind. Like roses? Oak. And dry as a bone. Nails. Is Crow planning on building a cottage instead of a tent? But they're covered in some kind of dirt. Hold on. Nails, rosewater, oak bark. They're all used to brew Kiss of Death. I'd like to ask a couple of questions about Chertan's murder.
I have a couple of questions of my own. What actually happened? Kat said Chertan is dead and Musa's locked up.
It's even more complicated than that. But I don't have time to explain it to you now. I need to ask you a couple of questions.
Go ahead and ask then, but quietly, damn it. I don't want anyone to know about it.
Where were you when Chertan was poisoned?
Where do you think? In my tent. After I helped take him to the infirmary with Musa, I went my own way.
You just went off to have a nap?
No, I doubled the guard, drew up the orders for tomorrow, and made sure nobody was allowed to leave the camp. When something like this happens, people like me have lots to do all of a sudden.
It was you who came to tell us that Chertan had been stabbed, wasn't it? How did you get involved in the first place?
Me? I was close by, that's all. My tent is right below the palisade. And when the two guards found Chertan, they ran to get me.
Hold on. The two guards said otherwise. They said they found Chertan and were discussing what to do when you turned up. By yourself.
Is that what they said? It's possible. I can't remember now. It all happened so fast. And anyway, how am I supposed to remember all this shit? Maybe I heard them and went to see what was going on.
Are you sure you don't want to tell me what really happened?
All right. You want the truth, so I'll tell you the truth. In fact, I really was up top. It's because I had to keep an eye on you.
Me? Why, for Christ's sake?
You really don't know? You may have been given our colours, but you're still a stranger. I didn't want you running around unsupervised. But it seems you're a decent fella, so don't fuck it up now.
Tell me more about the storage space.
What about it? There's a cannon and some powder there. We built it a few days after we arrived because it's a good idea to keep that kind of stuff safe. If it blew up, the whole place would be blown to smithereens. And if someone didn't happen to set fire to it, someone else might have robbed it. Folk are like magpies.
Oh, except for you, the crow.
Very droll. Never heard that one before. Aye, but now I'll ask you something. Who do you think did it?
Well, it's too soon to be certain. So everyone is a suspect. To tell the truth, there's something about your story that doesn't feel right.
My story? Fuck. Henry, why would I want to kill Chertan?
I don't know. I'm just saying that everyone is a suspect.
Well, you better be fucking certain before you try landing me in the shit. Got that?
I've been doing a lot of thinking about Chertan's murder.
What's that got to do with...
Well, it's just that I found a couple of interesting things in your tent. Isn't there something you should tell me?
No, and get off my back.
Calm down. If I wanted to snitch on you, I'd go straight to Kat's without bothering to ask you any questions.
Well, let's say you might have a point. What was it you said?
You know something about the murder, don't you?
Maybe a little, but I don't want word to get out, all right?
Why would anyone kill Chertan anyway?
Maybe it wasn't about Chertan. Maybe someone wanted to do something in the ammunition store, but Chertan turned up, so we had to kill him.
In the ammunition store? What would anyone be doing there?
Trying to blow it sky high.
What? What good would that do anyone?
It might make him very rich. Let's say Sigismund has a lot of enemies who are planning something big. It'll start in Italy, I hear, and it'd come in very handy if someone gave the king a setback before that. He'd lose allies there, and here his camp goes to shit. There's sure to be dozens of saboteurs all over the Empire, just like the one here.
I should probably report you. But I've got a much better idea. Let's say I'm not a great supporter of Sigismund. What if we were to help each other out?
That doesn't sound bad. Let me finish my work. We can put the blame for Chertan's murder on Grozav. I can't stand that fucker anyway.
What, accusing an innocent man? But he'll be executed.
Better him than me. So, can we make a deal?
But there's one condition. The storeroom doesn't blow up until we set off for Sedlets. I need that cannon of yours.
Ah, so that's why you're here. All right, I can arrange that. I'll prepare a long fuse and light it just before departure. With a bit of luck, we'll be long gone when it blows up. But first, we have to get rid of Grozav. I have a poisonous plant here. Put it in the chest in his tent, and at the trial, we'll say he used it to poison Chertan.
All right. Give it here. I'll take care of it.
I can't wait to see that stuck-up idiot Grozav in irons.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
God be with you. He's the camp commander, but it looks like a pauper lives here. I reckon Grozav's fallen on hard times. How could anyone drink all this? Oh, that's valerian, I believe. It helps relieve pain, but it's also used to make Dollmaker potion. But Chertan was poisoned with Kiss of Death. Or was he? Could we talk about Chertan's murder?
Why? Musa is under lock and key, and the king's deputy himself is coming for him. Leave me in peace, or you might end up like him.
But sir, we both know whatever happened with the poison wine, Musa can't have stabbed Chertan. I want to find out who else is involved in this. After all, you too could be in danger till this is all cleared up. I just have a couple of questions. I won't keep you long. You'll see.
Get on with it then, for fuck's sake. But if you think you can persuade me to let Musa go, you're out of luck.
How come you got to the site of the stabbing so quickly?
My tent is right next to it, you rat-faced half-wit. I heard Chertan yelling and I went to take a look.
Did you notice anything strange?
Like what, a stabbed man?
Well, didn't you hear anything, if your tent is so close by? Maybe Chertan was talking to someone there.
I'm a nobleman, not some prying old crone who listens at doors. What's more, you, Katz and Musa were making such a racket that it's a miracle we even found Chertan. Is there anything else? Or can I have some peace at last?
Were you there when Chertan was poisoned?
No, not at that moment. When I arrived, Chertan was already dead, and Musa was standing over him, white as a sheet. Well, paler than usual.
Had Chertan been behaving strangely recently?
No more than usual.
Did he mention having any conflicts with anyone?
Apart from me, you mean? I don't know how you imagine it, but we don't exactly go round holding hands here.
I took a look at the powder store where they found Chertan. I noticed it was unlocked. Someone forced the lock and moved the barrels of powder around.
What's that got to do with me?
Well, it almost looks like someone went there to steal. Do you have any idea who it might have been?
What the fuck are you trying to suggest?
Well, it's just that Katz is in charge of the powder, and he's bound to be interested if someone was stealing. And I'm sure he wouldn't be happy if I told him I didn't ask you, the commander, about it. Then he'd have to do the asking. And that will probably annoy him plenty.
All right then. There's something I suppose you should know. I like to gamble now and again. And it's true, I don't have much luck. But stealing, I'm a nobleman. Just because I had to sell off a few pieces of land, everyone at court treats me like a leper all of a sudden.
So why would Sigismund put you in charge of the camp?
As punishment. Stuck here with all this riffraff, supplies running thin, pay nowhere to be seen, and to cap it all, it's dull as fuck. A nice recipe for trouble. And that's just what that royal horse son is counting on. Oh, he can't wait till something goes wrong here so he can blame me for it.
So, you don't know anything about the black powder?
Nothing. And you don't know anything about me, got that? One word and you'll be sorry.
Do you know anyone who might want to kill Chertan?
Who wouldn't? He was a smug, ill-mannered bastard. Though I have to admit, I'm surprised it was the Sawbones Musa who killed him.
Well, how could he have? He was with me and Katz when Chertan was stabbed.
So he was in league with someone. How do I know?
Just a broom. No, I doubt that pair of drunks could have killed Chertan even if they wanted to. Nothing out of the ordinary. Ugh, stinks of vomit. For pain, exhaustion, fever, all healing remedies. I wouldn't mind a piece of that. Weaving something like that must have been one hell of a job. There's nothing here. Musa's definitely not to blame.
I swear, they all simply deserted.
Right. I found out all I could. I reckon I'm as ready for the trial as I'll ever be.
My word, you're bristling with confidence. We still have some time, so calm down, or you'll give yourself a fit. In the meantime, I'll go and get everything ready.
Well then, gentlemen. I understood from your letter roughly what happened, and I trust we can settle the matter quickly and quietly. But before we get started, I have to say you've disappointed me, Sir Grosov. King Sigismund placed his trust in you, but you don't seem to be up to the task.
That's not true. I took a few tattered tents and turned them into a proper military camp. Everything here is as it should be.
Only your soldiers seem to die from time to time, eh?
There are always problems, but as you can see, I can deal with them. We caught Musa of Mali in the act. You just need to pronounce judgment.
Musa is innocent.
Christ, Henry, be quiet.
And who might you be?
That is Henry, sir. One of my best soldiers. He just doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut.
Let him speak, then. I'm sure he has something very important to tell us. Tell me, lad, why is Musa innocent, in your opinion?
Sir, people don't murder each other for no reason. They murder mostly for revenge or profit, and Musa had no motive. You can ask everyone in the camp. Musa never had any quarrel with Chertan.
But if it wasn't Musa, who did kill Chertan?
Chertan was killed by the camp commander, Grozav of Boromlaka.
What?
You scum! How dare you!
Silence!
You aren't going to let this peasant insult me, are you, sir? You should cut him down to size.
That can wait. First, I want to know how he came up with this insolent claim. And start at the beginning. What happened that night by the powder store, by your reckoning?
Sir Grozav was most likely trying to steal black powder. It's very valuable, and often gets stolen, I've heard. But Chertan caught him in the act. There was a fight, and that's how it ended.
Me? Stealing? What impudence!
What do you base this on?
Sir Grozav's passion for gambling is common knowledge. But the dice haven't been kind to him recently, and he's run up lots of debts that he can't pay off.
That's the limit! I'll have your tongue ripped out for this insolence!
But Sir Grosov, why are you getting so worked up over this simple fellow? You don't have anything to hide, do you?
Me? Of course not.
See then? We shall continue. What happened next? You carried Cherton to the infirmary? Isn't that right, Sir Musa?
Yes, sir. There, I gave him wine to drink, and I prepared to stitch his wounds, but he died before I could.
It seems someone poisoned the poor fella.
Grozov went to the infirmary a little before me and Katz. He could easily have had time to poison the wine Musa gave to Cherton.
What say you, Sir Musa?
It cannot be ruled out.
Well, Sir Grozov, what actually happened?
Why are you all still listening to that dung grubber? Where would I get hold of poison?
You brewed it up yourself. You have lots of poisonous plants in your tent. You can go and see for yourself, sir. He has a chest full of them.
You fucking liar!
Silence! I've heard more than enough. Sir Grozov, you will come with me.
Me?
The king will not stand for wrongdoing among his nobles. That must be punished.
But I didn't do anything!
Don't make this harder than it need be.
Keep away from me!
Calm now, sir. Calm down.
Shut up, you worm! It's all your fault anyway! I won't let you put this on me, you hear? Go to hell! Ah! Ah!
Well, Sir Stibor, one problem is cleared up, and another one takes its place.
I wouldn't say that. We've rid the king of one idiot. It's just a pity Cherton had to die because of it. And I apologize to you, Sir Musa, for the unpleasantness you suffered.
My head will remain on my shoulders. That is the main thing.
What will happen to the camp now?
That is not your concern. I will personally take command. You just get rid of the corpse and clear out the royal tent for me.
With pleasure. We won't be staying long anyway, will we, Henry?
As you command, sir.
Then I do command, soldier. Go and pack.
Have I got time to stop by the baths? There's something I need to sort out there.
All right, but hurry. I don't intend to make the journey in the dark just because you want to dip your wick one last time.
Once the king's...
I'm sorry.
Good to see you.
Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift.
Come and hear something you won't believe. I've traveled the whole world.
It's happening. The Praggers are leaving for Sedlets.
At last, I won't have to wash the Cumans' asses anymore.
Tell Zizka everything, so they're ready for the ambush.
I will. But be careful once it all starts. I wouldn't want Dry Devil blowing your brains out by mistake.
There I saw some strange water monks who have fins instead of legs.
God be with you, neighbor.
Too.
All right, I'm ready. We can get out of here.
The sooner the better. Deserters, traitors, murders. I'm getting too old for all this. But the really heavy shit is still ahead of us. I can't imagine how I'm going to explain to the king that Sir Grozov, who he personally put in charge of his soldiers, is a murderer.
Well, maybe it won't be so bad, and Sir Stibor will back you up. I heard Sigismund wasn't too fond of Grozov.
It's just he can't say it openly, because the other nobles wouldn't like it. Well, let's leave it be now. Otherwise we won't get out of here before dark. Sedlitz awaits!
So the devil jumps in from behind a tree. But Pa, who's already got his blood up, just grabs him by the horns, wrestles him to the ground, and then starts giving the devil such a hiding. The fur is flying off. Wait, fellas. After Pa was done with him, the devil. So he says, what the fuck?
Help me with him!
Off the target!
Slice him up!
Well. You still here?
As you can see.
What are you gonna do now? Go home to Prague?
So I have to explain to everyone what happened to Cats? I'll give that a miss, thanks. The first thing I'm going to do is collect the rest of my reward. And after that, we'll see.
Well, wouldn't you rather hang around a while longer? We're planning something big at Malashov, and we could use every pair of hands.
Now? When I'm finally gonna get my coin? No thanks. The last thing I want to do now is put my neck on the line.
Oh, you'd make some coin with us as well. Who knows what we'll find at Malashov?
And you wouldn't mind having a traitor among you?
I think we'd cope. What's more, I reckon you owe me.
Shit, Henry. If I knew you were going to beg like this, I'd have run off without saying farewell. All right, I'll help you. But after Malashov, I'm out. Got that?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Really.
All right, just don't start crying. And if I get killed somewhere along the way, I'll come back and haunt you.
You fucking traitor.
Calm down, or you'll faint again. You've lost a lot of blood.
What now? What are you going to do with me?
Well, you're a good man. You deserve an honorable death.
The commander should fall with his men. I'll show you! See, you shit! You're no match for me!
There's no escape!
Zishka's got further orders for you.
There. It's done.
What's the matter? Aren't you happy?
It just doesn't seem right, what we did to those people.
Not people, the enemy. Remember that. Trust me, you'll sleep a lot better. By the way, who's that fella over there? The one who fought on our side?
He's called Crow. We met in the camp. I wouldn't say he's our ally, but he's against Sigismund. He killed the Cuman's commander and blew up the ammunition store. It's a long story.
Fucking hell. Now that's a man.
Yeah, and that's not all. I talked him into helping us at Malashov.
I'm sure that'll be a pleasant change from that lot who've settled into Devil's Den. Brabant has already brought up his promised reinforcements.
What are they like?
Well, you'll see for yourself. But now, we have to get out of here first. On the way, you can tell me your long story from the camp.
Yeah, the sooner we make ourselves scarce, the better.
To the task, then.
Seems like we poked a hornet's nest with that ambush, eh?
We did. And that means the Devil's Den won't be safe much longer.
Another reason not to stick around there and attack Malashov.
Well, we're in luck. Ada's just returned from a scouting mission, and he says von Burkov's at the castle.
And what about Brabant's men? You were saying you don't like the look of them.
I just don't trust them somehow. But I'll admit that Frenchman surprised me. They're no greenhorns.
We'll see how they fare in battle.
Indeed we will. We'll soon get going. Get ready, and then we'll plan what's next.
Damn it. Silly doggy.
How are things looking at Malashov? How is Malashov?
Właśnie stamtąd wróciłem. Jedno wiem na pewno. Ten zamek ma kurwa słuszne obwarowania.
Could you slow down a bit? I'm trying to understand you, but I can't keep up.
O co ci chodzi?
This is going nowhere. I need Uher to translate.
Thank you, sir.
And what can I get for you? Thank you, and I apologize.
I assume you won't be joining our offensive, right?
Under other circumstances, I would avoid battle. You're right, but this is personal. Otto von Berghoff is responsible for that slaughter in Kuttenberg. It was he who advised Sigismund to attack my people.
So you want revenge?
They plundered the synagogue, murdered dozens of people. That Mamsa must pay. I will play with him like a cat with a mouse. He will beg for mercy, for a quick death.
I understand how you feel. Once I get my hands on Markvart, there's no telling what I'll do.
I'm going to kill von Berghoff. Even if Shiska is against it. Fuck him! It was I who got the money for everything, so no one is going to tell me what I can and cannot do. What about you? Why are you willing to fight?
Otto von Berghoff deserves punishment for everything he's done.
So we see eye to eye on him.
Aye. Von Berghoff is nothing more than a swine, brother. And if there's anyone that can get him, then it's Zizka and the devil. That's why I'm going with them to Malashov. Are you coming with us to Malashov?
And what would I do there?
What's wrong? Are you upset?
Am I supposed to be happy? Ah, for Christ's sake, you're all the same. Why do I even bother trying? You'll all just end up getting killed.
If you're talking about that plan, well...
Jan still thinks it'll be easy to capture von Berghoff. But I heard what Ada said.
What did he say?
That Otto von Berghoff has that fortress full of fresh mercenaries, armed to the teeth. My God! I should have slit his throat that time I had the chance at Trotsky.
Don't worry. It won't be that tough. Brabant mustered some experienced men. It'll be easier with them.
Men! Men! As if everything revolved around you.
Well, there's a war on. We have to fight.
Have to? You have to keep killing?
Look, I just wanted to...
I don't know what you want. I can't figure you out.
Well, that makes two of us. What's changed? We've been fighting the whole time.
Nothing's changed. Except that with every passing day, you're risking more and more. Just try not to get killed, Henry. In the meantime, I'll wait at the fortress in Sukdal. That's where we'll meet.
What about your mercenaries? Are they good?
Ne t'inquiète pas, mon ami. Le Seigneur Morgenstern can always be relied upon.
Who is this Morgenstern?
C'est un bon ami à moi. We met years ago au Grand Tournoi de Lorraine, at the estate of the Duke there.
Can he be trusted?
Le Chevalier Morgenstern is not only a warrior, but also a serious patron of the hearts. A man of renown.
How did you find Morgenstern?
Pendant que vous étiez chez les Hongrois, I went to Kuttenberg. Le Chevalier Morgenstern was with Sigismund. But he turned him down because, le roi n'a pas d'argent. The king has run out of coin.
So he's just an ordinary mercenary?
Not ordinary. He's a renowned condottiere.
Where does this Morgenstern come from?
From Brunswick. His ancestor fought for Emperor Charles. A good house, mon ami.
So why is he earning a living as a mercenary?
C'est une triste histoire. He lost considerable estates due to his relatives and battles in Eastern Prussia.
So he became impoverished?
In truth, it was more his passion for art that led him to ruin.
Was darf's heute Morgen sein?
Excuse me, but I'd like to ask you how many men you have with you, sir.
Meine Truppe ist nicht groß, but for your purposes, I think it will suffice. Außer den Leuten hier in the camp, I also have Soldaten nearby, and if need be, they will go with us. Doch wir werden abwarten, according to what Hauptmann Schischka says.
And what did you agree with Goodman Brabant? How much did he promise you?
Enough to risk meinen Hals, my neck, for you. Half of the reward in coin, in advance, and half in booty on the spot. You pay for any losses of the horses and archers. If your plan fails, you shall pay us the rest of the money we would otherwise get.
So you already know what the plan is?
All I know is you want to capture some small fortress. You get inside, we take care of the rest. Kein Stürmen der Mauern und no sieges. Just a quick, clean job for my men.
What weapons do you have? What can we rely upon in combat?
Meine Truppe has the power of eine Lanze, and my people are experienced archers. We know how to take care of ourselves.
And how many of you are there?
Here in the camp, I have my Armiger Hagen Trott, 2 free archers and a combat hostler. Alles Gute und unerschütterliche Jungs.
What experience do your men have? Where have they fought before?
Das ganze letzte Jahr we fought in Italy for Sir Musio Sforza, and we wintered near Milan.
Who were you fighting against? And did you win?
Unfortunately, this time Il Capitano Barbiano was luckier and beat our Musio in battle. But it was not a bad year. Italien ist ein großartiges Land. I think we shall head south again in the autumn. I'm certain Milan will soon rise against Florence, and there'll be a new war. Möge Gott mit dir sein.
Good day, sir.
I'm Zizka's friend. My name's Henry.
Oh, I've heard about you, lad.
Brabant was probably blabbing, eh?
Oh, no, not Brabant at all, but Dangler spoke of you.
Sorry, but I don't know who that is. Who's Dangler?
The one from the entourage of Lord Kuna of Reichwald. Of course. You recently rode together on the Sazavar River, you know.
Oh, I see. What a coincidence. Do you know Lord Kuna?
We mercenaries know one another. One day we fight side by side, the next against each other. But this time we only drank together all evening. Ha! I had a terrible hangover from it, my friend, but I haven't had so much fun in a long time.
What did they tell you about me?
Only good things, like you're not a coward and you're a good fighter. Even Lord Kuna himself said he would welcome you with his retinue.
Well, I'm very honoured.
Aye, you're right. They're quite the scoundrels. Capable scoundrels, though. If Lord Kuna doesn't fuck everything up, he'll be going places.
How is Lord Kuna doing? Is he healthy?
Oh, aye. I heard you had some trouble with old Zul.
Trouble? He was a right bastard, he was. He harmed my father, my lord, and robbed his estate.
Aye. I heard he was a mercenary for the League of Lords.
Where were you before you came here?
Well, we spent this winter near Milan, but we only ran into Brabant here on the Loretz vineyard.
So you've known each other a long time?
I don't know about my Lord Urso, but I saw him there for the first time. An interesting group of people came together, and we drank for several nights.
Well, I'll be damned. So I was risking my neck in the Hungarian camp, and Brabant was drinking with you.
Aye, like I said, there were more people. There was also one Kuttenberg Italian named Giuseppe, who was the acting commander of the guard in the Italian court. Oh my God, you should have heard how his wife makes him suffer. It was so funny when he told it. And then Brabant started telling his stories, and then he mentioned you need help, so here we are.
How much money did Brabant promise you?
Hey, you'll have to ask Sir Urso von Morgenstern. It's his business.
So you don't know what exactly they agreed on?
I have no idea, my friend. I'm just heating up water and grating carrots here.
Seriously?
And why not, if you enjoy it?
Then you should go and see Janos Uher. He can go on about cooking for hours and hours.
Ah, you see, finally a kindred spirit, someone who knows what's important in the world.
What weapons do you have? And how many of you are there?
Well, I prefer a warhammer, but most of us can fight with whatever's at hand. Anyway, we're renowned archers, and Hagen even recently won a tournament in Nuremberg. He defeated the famous Hawkeye Schmidt there. Now that man was so pissed off that he threw his crossbow into the Pegnitz River by mistake and couldn't fish it out.
Are you a cook?
Aye, but it's no big deal. I just got sick and tired of eating that disgusting slop on the road, so I learned to cook.
That's actually a pretty good reason. And are you any good at it?
Well, the men don't complain, so I can't be all that bad. Even Sir Urso himself praised me recently.
Ah. And does your lord have a discerning palate?
Does he ever? He likes sweets, but he enjoys good Italian food above all. Aye, Italy. What a land. Great wine, beautiful women, and delicious food. Every mercenary likes to go back there. First Geld, oder für die Freude.
What does that mean? Fürs Geld, and so on and so forth.
First Geld, oder für die Freude. For money or for joy. That's the motto of our lord, Sir Ursa von Morgenstern. And it's quite fitting for mercenaries like us, don't you think?
Aye, I reckon it is. Actually, it makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. One or both of them. There's no other reason to risk your skin.
I'd like to ask you...
Well,
what is your lord like? Can you tell me something about Sir Urso?
I can't say a single bad thing about him. First of all, it give me a thrashing, and second, there's no reason to. He's strict but fair, and always has money. In fact, he has so much he can buy those silly trinkets of his.
What are you talking about?
You know, his books, sculptures, and weird fragments he's always carrying around. He's completely mad for those Roman antiques. He collects all kinds of things, and can talk about them with other people who are just like him.
So he's scholarly and can read?
I don't know about that. I've never seen him read, but he looks through his books often. And the money he is willing to pay for a piece of Greek rock, it's enough to make one cry. He's so crazy about those ancient fairy tales, he even named his horse after some monsters or something like that. Farewell, good sir.
Gepriesen sei der Herr. What do you need?
My name's Henry, and I'm a friend of Zizka's. I came here to see who Brabant brought us.
Ja, ich weiß, wer du bist. Brabant spoke to my lord, Sir Urso, about you. He said you want to do something big. Worum geht es denn?
Well, unfortunately, I can't tell you many details. I don't even know them myself. Zizka is being awfully secretive about it.
Macht nichts. Das ist egal. A war is meant to be fought, especially if you pay us well. Fürs Geld oder für die Freude?
What weapons do you have? And how many of you are there?
Entschuldigung, mein Freund. But you'd better talk about that with Herr von Morgenstern. Die ganze Truppe, including the horses, belong to Sir Urso.
All right.
Ganz wie du willst. And if you want to play some dice with me, I'm at your service.
I need help with Adder.
Try to learn Polish. It's not so hard.
I didn't need Polish to save your arses.
Yeah, leave it now. Hej, komar, podejdź tu. Henry chce się do ciebie coś zapytać. I've got the feeling you're just stringing us along with that Polish.
Ah, come on. You know other understand you pretty good.
O co chodzi? Jasne, że rozumiem.
No, ale on tobie nie, chłopie.
To niech się ta pierdoła nauczy.
What did you see at Malashow Fortress?
To nie twierdza, ale zamek. Zaprawdę nie wiem, jak Ziszka chce go zdobyć.
That castle strong like rock.
Aye. It seems that Ruthard spared no expense.
Rutard? Widziałem Rutarda.
To si nie mógł widzieć. Siedzi w celi w Kutnej Horze.
Who did he see?
No to nie wiem. Ale zadek ma całkiem.
You are cockot.
What, then?
Look like not only von Bergow is in fortress. Daughter of Kunzelin is too.
What, Rosa? Seriously? Damn it. If anything happens to her, I'll never forgive myself.
Right. The woman's is always trouble with them.
Nawet nie mów.
Rosa's a lady. And a very clever one.
You like her, eh? You wait. Take it easy. No worry. Nothing happened to her. We save her. You see.
What did you see in the village?
Coś widziałeś?
Do diaska, nie jestem głupi, pojmuję. Jest tam taka przyjemniutka karczma. No i piękne dziewki laziemne. Jedna... ta miała takie okrąglutkie jabłuszka, że mogłem się z nimi... Gździć na okrągło.
So, how many guards are there?
I think you don't find out much from the other about that. He not keep his little gherkin in hose. This may be cure devil's hangover.
So, have you got the sauce?
I make fresh just now. Enjoy.
Thanks, Janos. Since you know so much about food, could you teach me how to cook?
Good idea, friend. Like Bible say, men not live on wine alone. Hey, what do you want to know?
Something fast and simple would come in handy. I'm always traveling somewhere, so something to fill my belly quickly.
Fill your belly? Food. Food is gift from God. Even simple food must be good. You know what? I teach you beer soup. Ready quick, and if you not fuck up, it tastes divine. First, you need beer, eh? But sweet, not sour piece. Tear up bread, pour beer on top, cook on fire until mush. Put bit of salt, caraway, lovage, bit of butter if you have, nutmeg, egg yolk. All done.
Could you teach me any...
What do you want?
The foundation of every proper meal is porridge. Do you know a good recipe for any?
Of course. But porridge is for peasants, eh? You want? Wait. I know one nice sweet gruel, good, hearty, make you strong like ox. Or calf at least. First you cook whale brain, real good, mash up with some red wine and boil in pot. Then add a bit of semolina and saffron that make it yellow. In the end, stir in bit of caraway and big spoon of honey. You know best part, eh? Sprinkle some nuts and cinnamon on it on plate.
Could you teach me...
What do you want?
Teach me some sauce that goes with meat. To make the most of it when I get my hands on some.
Sauce? Maybe our yellow sauce. Hey! Not cheap to make, but good as hell. You put mug of cream into pot. Warm up a bit. Throw in egg yolk, bit of saffron, ginger root, and sugar. Then you must cook very slowly. Keep stirring till it go thick. Slow, slow. You cook too fast, egg go all lumpy. So tasty you will lick pot. Unless you fuck it up, eh?
Could you teach me...
What do you...
Do you have anything really festive? I'd like to make a real banquet sometime.
Ah, you my man! Why only lords should have feast, eh? But what I can teach you... best thing I know for feast is shoustic. You know that?
Sounds like something nasty you'd do at the bathhouse.
Funny? No, it even better. Not only feast for stomach, for eyes too. Nice special food to put in middle of table. It can look different ways. Favorite is all kinds of roasted beasts. Dragons, manticores, and stuff.
And where can I find such a beast?
There is secret in it. You cannot. You make one. Take bag of piglet, stew on roaster's head, peacock's tail, feet from hare, and roast all together and baste with wine sauce. Crown the beast. Put boiled eggs around. You have feast for king. Hey?